I love me some Cleveland. I love Cleveland. Cleveland has blessed me. So I'm originally from Missouri, and so from there I went on a college tour when I was in 6th grade. This changed my life as well. And so I went to this college tour. I went to Spelman, and I was like, this is where I need to be. Like, these women are phenomenal down here. Went to Spelman. From Spelman, I applied for law school. Could not get in anywhere. My LSAT score was too low. So I took the LSAT again. I applied again. I got into 4 law schools. 2 were in Atlanta. 1 was in New York, and then 1 was in Cleveland. Why I chose Cleveland, I don't know. But I was just like,
Wait, why didn't you stay in Atlanta?
Let me just try. I wanted something new.
Okay.
And it's weird. I love Atlanta.
Clearly.
But
I was right? In Atlanta.
But I was just like, I'm young. Let's just go live life. Like, let's just go. So my Morehouse brother packed my stuff up, put it in the U-Haul, and I came up here. I literally knew 2 people when I moved here. I lived in Shaker Heights with my college friend's family.
Okay.
And then I got my apartment downtown. But that's kind of how I got here. And when I first moved to Cleveland, I'll be frank, I did not like it at first. I was like, everyone is kind of like short, no one smiles. Like in the South,
Gray.
In the South, everyone says good morning or good afternoon when they see you, or hi, how are you, or you know, it's very like that Southern is very real. And then when I came here, I was like, whoa, you're not gonna say hello back? Oh, okay, this is a little different. But then I actually went.
And you probably said that too when they didn't say. You were like, oh, you're not gonna say because that's.
I definitely did. I'm like, oh. I would keep saying hello until you say hello back to me. But anyway, so then I went to an event. Shout out to Cleveland Museum of Art. I went there for summer solstice. Went to solstice, and it was an absolutely amazing cultural experience. I had so much fun. And that's what really allowed me to fall in love with the city. So I definitely love Cleveland. I am thankful for everything I was able to learn and grow in this city. Now it's time for change, and it's time to expand. So I'm very, very excited about our upcoming location in West Midtown Atlanta. It's at a new development called the Interlock, and it's just going to be phenomenal. So I'm very excited.
How surprised are people when they find out you're Cathy?
Shocked. I'm not even going to pretend. I will say, I will never forget, I was at a vendor event, and I was working it along with one other person. And I'm at this event. This lady comes up to me, and she's like, oh, she's talking about Cathy. She's ordering her ice cream sandwich. She's like, oh, yeah, you know, I've met Cathy. She's phenomenal. She's amazing. And I'm like, she is? And she is. She's great to work for. And I'm standing there face to face with this woman talking. And I was like, oh, like, you know, what kind of, and she's like, yeah, she has this blonde hair and it's kind of like curly, crinkly, and then she has this, and I was just cracking up on the inside. I didn't even correct her.
I was like,
I did not. I just said, you know what, she is amazing.
That's God working.
Have a great day. Yeah. But I just think that, and it's not ill intent, I think that
she probably
our assumptions.
Have somebody that looked like that working for you?
Yeah, we have a few. I mean, like I would say we're kind of 50-50 here because we have a really diverse crew.
I had an experience where I was telling them about your business, and you were there, like you were at the table working.
Okay, shut up.
And they were like, "Oh my gosh, you know, well, Cathy's," and I was like, "There she is," and they were like, "Who?" And I'm like, "Her." I'm like, "That's Cathy," and they were like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, oh, it's a shock factor.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's a very shock factor. And I think,
but I love it.
It's a good thing. I would say it's a good thing because we're changing the tide. We're showing that African Americans and African American women can lead and can come up with great enterprises and still be firm, right? Because it's always like women can't, you can still be firm and you can still be feminine. You know, now this is not on purpose, okay? Because we hire everybody. But for some reason, everyone who works here is a woman, is female. And I think that just my support of African Americans and African American women, when I see people shocked that Cathy's is owned by a brown, well, I know I'm high yellow, but
you're brown. You got some melanin.
I got a little melanin. You know, a black woman, they are shocked. I feel like that's in certain climates because where we're going, there's lots of black female entrepreneurship and it's very much supported. So I think here in Cleveland, I'm very proud to be literally the only female black food business in downtown Cleveland. I am very proud of that. And I think that we're changing the tide and us showing the city that we have talent, we're just as talented, we're just as skilled. Yeah. You know, we're amazingly exceptional. And I think being able to show that in a city where it's not a lot of that displayed I'm very grateful for that opportunity. And I intend to share that as much as possible. You know, Cathy is not a blonde hair, blue-eyed girl. She is brown and she loves it, honey.
Yeah, people don't know what to expect. And you've been, you know, speaking a lot about your business in the city. I have kind of done a deeper dive into diversity and inclusion this year.
Good.
One thing I've realized is that people don't have ill intent. Like when
Right,
you look
not
at
at
a
all.
business,
Oh, yeah, no,
sometimes
not at all.
it's not, if everyone is, you know, as they say, like male and pale, it
Right.
usually it's not intentional.
Right, not at
it's
all.
exactly what you touched on. And you're like, for some reason, everybody, it's because people tend to hire and gravitate people like themselves. But the thing is, there's never been enough people like you in charge. And I think that's great. I mean, it would be this
phenomenal.
I learned that this year. Like
There
it's
are
not
so many Cleveland brands, and
it's
it
not
upsets
ill
me.
intent. It's you're gonna go towards what, like if I started a business, I would probably look at people like you or people in my circle.
Absolutely.
And so, but I think it's great now that you are running it, but you have, like you said, like women coming up, you have people, minorities who have never had that opportunity or that platform, being able to do that now. That's like the difference. We need more of that.
100%.
That's part of the reason why like I wanted to start Coffee Conversations.
Which I love.
Yeah,
I love it.
I wanted people in Cleveland and everywhere I go, I wanted to have these conversations with women who are doing stuff. And I mean, you have like a big presence anyway on Cleveland, but just besides social media and all of that, like people who are really doing work.
Right. Yes. And
we're
really doing work. Right.
Yeah.
And that's one thing.
And not just a pretty face. You know, you have a pretty face.
Thank you.
But just more than that. Substance.
Thank you. I think you touched on something that's really, really good about us not being in those positions. And if you go to certain establishments here that are phenomenal, you probably almost will never see anyone who is African American, yet alone a black woman in any type of leadership role.
Which is crazy because Cleveland's 53% African
I know.
American.
And most of their patrons are African American. So I think that I love what Cathy stands for. I love that we are diverse here now. So we have a very diverse crew. And also I think that the diversity allows us to enhance in certain different ways. You have a perspective that I don't have, and we kind of all come together like this melting pot here. And it's phenomenal. But I think that when you put into your mind what you think a CEO looks like, most of the time you're going to think a tall, white, thin male, right? We are changing that tide because that's not the face of entrepreneurship anymore. It's multiple people now. So just throw that in there.
With last words for someone on their journey in the beginning.
Believe in yourself. That's the biggest thing. That's what you need to do. You need to focus on believing in yourself and building yourself up. The rest will come. Help will come. The right people will come. Being able to make decisions are that important. Now I am very slow to hire and I'm quick to fire. Like you kind of have to get better with that. I think a lot of people struggle with that in the beginning, especially women, because we're like natural, like we just want to help. Like no, you have to go. But really, I think just believing in yourself and knowing that all things are possible for you if you believe.